Hey there, welcome back. Today we'll be taking a look at another TV series episode. This is Kim Possible. I'm going to be reviewing October 31st, which is the name of the episode. This is season 1, episode 14, the last of the first season. And as you may have guessed from the title, this is the Halloween episode. And it's pretty good. It's pretty darn great. I've watched it a couple times, and I really enjoy it. Essentially, the story is pretty simple. Kim is kind of wanting to go. Well, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. So Ron is getting ready to go trick or treating with Kim this year, and she feels that she's too old. So she decides to go to Monique's party, but she doesn't tell her parents. She lies to them and says she's going with Ron to go trick or treating. And yeah, she gets caught in a bunch of lies. And at the beginning of the episode, there's essentially two stories going on here: Kim lying, and then the villains going after a an object called the Centurion Project. So that at the beginning, we see Kim and Ron on a mission, and they're kind of like in a black market kind of area, kind of a sketchy part of Middleton. At least I assume. I could be wrong. Could be a different place altogether. Anyway, we have a couple villains in this episode. Actually, three of them. We have Shigo, Draken, and Duff Killigan. So Killigan is preparing to sell Draken an evil device called the Centurion Project. And basically, what it is a metal object, and it goes on your wrist, and essentially it's kind of empathic, if that's the right way to say it. So essentially, it's a like a an emotion based weapon. So essentially, whenever someone is stressed or feeling angry or something, the project will kind of envelop whoever it is in an armor. And so that is what Dr. Draken is wanting to steal. Him and Shigo, they almost get the deal ready, the trade, but the villains are interrupted by Kim Possible, and she foils their plans once again, and she ends up snagging the Centurion Project for herself. She gets it on her arm, and she fights off Shigo and Draken, and they get away. And Kim goes back home, and we get a lot of like kind of home, a slice of life kind of scenes with Kim and her family. Pretty much her whole family is attending, or they're hosting, a haunted house at the hospital. And so they're wondering if Kim would like to join, and she says no, she's going with Ron, which is a lie. And so that is what triggers the Centurion Project armor to start showing up all over her arm, and eventually it covers her entire body. And so at the end, there's this big fight at the hospital with Kim versus Duff versus Draken versus Shigo, and the armor's on her, and she basically overpowers all of them. But I also like some of the Halloween stuff in this episode. A lot of the haunted house scenes with Mr. and Mrs. Dr. P. That was fun to see them. Kim's dad is dressed as Dracula, and Kim's mom is a witch, and the two brothers are zombies. I thought that was really cool. And we see a lot of the haunted house, so a lot of the kids going in there. And at the very end, Kim gets grounded for a month, and even the villains are shocked that she would lie as much as she did. Basically, she lied so much that the armor covered her entire body, and so she was able to use that to fight back. But eventually it wore off, and she had to give it back. So it's not really clear who owns the Centurion Project. Anyway, we also have Monique here. She plays a decent role. She is inviting Kim to her party, which Kim attends as a princess, but then she has the armor on, so everyone's kind of confused. Like, why are you a princess, but why do you have knight armor? And it eventually the dress rips off, and she has to fight in the armor, and that's how she gets to the hospital for the final fight, which I think is cool. The Halloween party is great. You can see a bunch of characters in the basically just random, boys and girls in the party. And Monique is dressed as a cowgirl, and I thought that was cool. We do have Josh Mankey in this episode, who makes an appearance. We see him a few times throughout the series, and he is once again hanging out with Kim, and she is very interested in going. Basically, she only went to the party because Josh was there. And if you didn't know, Josh Mankey is basically Kim's crush before she, you know, falls for Ron in season 4. So basically, in the early seasons, she's very attracted to Josh Mankey, which is um, also established in the first episode, Crush. So Josh is there. He's dressed like a pirate, and he has a pretty decent impression. And because Kim gets grounded at the end, Josh actually ends up going with Ron, who Ron really wants to go as a unicorn for whatever reason. And it's just, there's a running gag of him just like being too old and, you know, just having the lower half of a unicorn. And it's kind of lame. And that's pretty funny. Another funny running gag is Duff Killigan. Every time he shows up, the kids think he's a girl, a bearded lady, because he's wearing a kilt, which is also interpreted as a skirt. So I thought that was fun and funny. I really liked Kim's princess outfit, and then it gets shredded not long after she arrives at the party. But still, I thought that was cool. And then um, she technically did dress up because she got the armor. That was cool. The armor is really neat. I really like that. It's powered by Kim's emotions, so she's either stressed out or very angry at the at the kind of the end battle, which I think is cool. Unfortunately, we never get to see the Centurion project on anyone else. It's really just on Kim because she's able to get it and wear it early on, which I think is cool, but a bit of a missed opportunity. I would have liked to see more of the suit on other characters, but you know what? Whatever. It's fine. I did love Dr. Draken. He was great in this episode. He didn't do too much, but he was the one who wanted the suit in the first place, so I thought that was cool that he was here. Shigo obviously battles Kim several times, which is really, it's always fun. I think probably the standout character in this episode is probably Duff Killigan, honestly. He had a lot of the best lines. And there was also this little girl that was out for Halloween, and she was fun and very sarcastic, which brought a lot of humor to the actual Halloween scenes. Although I think it would have been easier, I think it probably would have been easier for Kim on her if she would have just, told her parents she was going to Monique's party, and then she could have maybe, hung out at the haunted house for a little bit, and then she could have gone trick or treating with Ron. I think that would have been better, but you know what? Then we wouldn't have an episode, so there's that win lose. So yeah, I think it's cool. I really like the Halloween imagery in this episode. I think it's great. I love the vibe of it. It's very fall, very October feeling, which is cool. Although I do think the episode title is a little bit lame. Like October 31st, I get it, but I feel like there could have been a better title than that. Anyway, I really liked this episode. I thought the interactions with Kim's parents was fun. I especially liked when Kim's mom came up in her room and she's like, your brothers are just dying to douse you with fake blood. And then she's like, at least I hope it's fake. Gene Smart, who plays Kim's mom, does a fantastic job. And Gary Cole, who plays her dad, also, they both do a wonderful job. Basically, every voice actor does a solid job in pretty much every episode. There's not really a bad episode of Kim Possible, I'd say. I mean, there's lackluster ones, but there's not like outright bad episodes, I guess. Trying to think of what else happens. I pretty much described the whole thing. I love the look of Middleton, the design of the town. That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think my favorite part of this episode probably is the final battle with the robot suit. That was cool. There's a lot of good episodes. This isn't one of my favorite ones. It's kind of barely not a favorite, but it's pretty fun. It'd probably just be best to watch this like just in October probably. It's probably why they made it, just to like watch it in, Halloween season. It's not really a bad part in this one. I'd probably give October 31st probably an 8 out of 10. again, the missed opportunity with the suit, the Centurion project. It could have been cool to see the suit on like Shigo or Draken or Braun even. Um, but honestly, I really like this one. It's a good episode, solid one. It's fun. It's got a lot of funny parts, and the action is great, especially at the end. And then Kim gets grounded, which she kind of had it coming, but it's I feel like it's deserved here. And yeah, it's a solid episode. Great. I would recommend, especially in October. If you haven't seen it, it's a great episode. If you're just gonna watch one, this is another. This is a good one. I think the Christmas episode is probably a little bit better, but this one is not bad. But have you seen this episode? What is your favorite episode of Kim Possible? Do you like the pilot? Do you like the movies better? Do you just which one's your favorite? And who's your favorite character? Let me know, and I will see you for the next episode review. Hope this wasn't too short, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.